Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Millie and I love any makeup, especially shiny, shifty, and sparkly eyeshadows. And today I'm very excited to be trying out the Sugar High palette from Menagerie Cosmetics. Look at this packaging, as cute as ever. They always have the cutest packaging ever. I do believe the owner actually has sugar gliders, so I'm sure that they inspired some of this palette. But here's what the inside color story looks like. I was really excited because it was a Menagerie palette and it has round pans, and I was really interested to try it out. And I liked that it was a colorful palette, and I was really intrigued by some of these shimmers. They look absolutely beautiful. I do want to mention though, when I open this palette, I do feel like some of the shades look a little bit more subdued in person than they did in the photos. I was kind of like, oh, like especially in particular these like matte shades down here, the shimmers are super shiny. But without telling you all my thoughts on the palette yet, I'm gonna pop up some swatches, and the names are super cute in here as well. We've got Sugar Cube, Falling with Style, Pouch Protective, Nom Nom, Sugary Sweet, Yogurt Drop, Snuggle Bug. I mean, super adorable. And I did also buy the 3 multi-chromes that they launched at the same time as this palette, so stay tuned for a video on those. But I was a little bit iffy if I wanted to include them in the video with this palette, but I didn't want to throw them in here and have them overshadow the palette. But also there's quite a bit of shimmers to use in this palette that I really wanted to try out. So let's get right into the 4 looks I created with this palette, and then I will give you some of my thoughts at the end of the video. Priming with the Gimme Glow eyeshadow primer. Taking Yogurt Drop right into the crease. Oh, this is such a cute purple. There's a tiny bit of kick up, but from just swatching these feel harder pressed than usual. Just feathering out those edges. Taking Snuggle Bug on the outer corner. Could have putting it a little bit on an angle. Not sure if it's really going to matter. I'm just kind of winging it out here and just blending it out. And I'm gonna go in with a little bit more. Again, really feel like these are either a different formula or just harder pressed, which is not like a bad thing. I'm just pointing it out. Taking Snuggle Bug under my lower lash line. And then I'm going in with Slice right next to that. And then Joey next to that. Those are super vibrant. Picked up Sugar Cube and I sprayed my brush, and I'm going to be putting that into the inner corner, well, more like inner half, and up into my crease a little bit. The shade is a translucent type of shade. And then I picked up Sugary Sweet and I wet my brush again. I'm using the Refer 21 brush. And I'm just kind of putting that all over the rest of my lid. This shade is so beautiful, super vibrant. Whoa, super vibrant. Love it so much. I'm gonna back in with a little bit more of Sugar Cube just up here. I really want that highlight there. And I picked up some Sugar Cube on my pinky, and I'm gonna pop that on the inner corner. And you can see that's pretty translucent, super pretty. Here's the first finished look. I put on the ColourPop Cream Liner in Insomniac in the waterline. And my lashes are Dreamlike from Unearthly Cosmetics. Second look, priming again with the Gimme Glow primer. And on this I'm going in with a Furry Friend, and I'm gonna put it, I'm just kind of mapping it out first. So putting it into the crease as well as the outer corner. This is kind of like the deepest shade, which is not really that deep. It's kind of more of a mid-tone, just like the pink shade as well. But I just wanted to get that in here. And then taking Slice to blend it into that. And I'm taking it right on the edge and kind of against the edge as well. I'm going to be going in with a yellow, so... Which shade was a Slice? Did I say that? I don't remember. So it's just going to be on the edges. And I'm taking Joey, which is kind of a subdued yellow. It's not really bright, but I do feel like it applies a little bit brighter, even just from swatching it. Especially with the orange, I think it brightens it up a bit. So Basically a little bit of a sunset eye going on over here. And I am taking it on the outer corner here, and I'm going to go back in with Furry Friend just on the same brush. And just deepen it up here, kind of, sort of. And then going back in with Slice. Do feel like I lost it maybe just a little bit. And then taking Joey, the outer corner. And then I'm going to bring Furry Friend under my lower lash line. Then going in with Joey, right on the edge of that. Liking the way that is coming out for sure. I really feel like these are harder pressed. There's almost no kick up, which is pretty rare for Menagerie eyeshadows. So next I'm going to be going in with this gorgeous, gorgeous red called Ruby. I definitely feel like I've seen this shade before. I'm thinking kind of like my Sugar Drizzle palette, my ItsBel palette, etc. Whoa, look at that. So beautiful. And I'm going to run that kind of across my lash line onto the outer corner. And then Pouch Protective right above that. I did spray my brush after I picked up some of the shadow. Going back in with just a little bit more, creating a fall half cut crease situation basically. I think I need to take it just a little higher. And love the way that came out. I'm going to take Joey under the rest of my lower lash line. I do have just a little bit of fallout. Hopefully that just comes off easily. Finished off the second look with the Dusk eyeliner from Melt Cosmetics in the waterline, and my lashes are Dreamlike from Unearthly Cosmetics. Third look, I'm going in with Sweet Varieties in the crease, and this shade is super, super pigmented and blended out really well. Since there's no deepening up shade, I'm going in with Falling with Style in the inner and outer corner, and I'm going to be just slowly blending it out a little bit, but obviously it's a shimmer and it's super metallic, really beautiful. It's a little bit more of a duochrome, and then in the center I'm going in with Nom Nom. And then I'm also extending Falling with Style below my lower lash line. The shade is truly so dimensional. And then right next to that, I decided to go in with Yogurt Drop. And I did go in with Yogurt Drop on my lower lash line to finish it off. Here's the third finished look. I put on the denim liner from Beauty Creations in the waterline, and I'm wearing Salon Perfect 691 lashes. And I did trim them quite a bit on the outer portion and the inner portion, so it's kind of like more of a half lash situation. And I actually really love how the shimmers look in the inner and outer corner. I definitely want to play with that more with some other palettes. For the third look, I'm priming with the ColourPop Party Proof eyeshadow primer, just trying it out a little bit more. And I'm going in with Yogurt Drop, which this shade definitely, I feel like, looks brighter on the lid than it does in the pan. And the shade is super, super nice. A little bit on the pastel side, but still bright enough. And then I'm creating an eyeshadow wing with Furry Friend, and this one I had to build up quite a bit. These shades definitely feel harder pressed. There's not really much kick up, which just in turn means that you might need to be dipping in a little bit more often. And then I'm going in with Sugar Cube to do a fake half cut crease. I did spray my brush after I picked up some of the shadow, but I did not put down any sort of tacky primer. And then I'm going in with Ruby all over the wing, which is such a stunning metallic shade. It's super, super bright. And then popping Pouch Protective right in the center of the wing and just keeping it right there as like a little highlight. And then I'm going back in with Sugar Cube and just dragging it downwards a little bit right up against the wing. Here's a finished look. I put on the eyeliner from ColourPop in Peach Fuzz, and the lashes are the Salon Perfect 691. So right off the bat, let's just jump right into it. I do think that there is a difference in formula, whether or not it's the mattes that are like a specifically different formulation or they're just harder pressed, but there's much less kick up in these pens. And also they do just feel a bit different the way they apply. Absolutely love the mattes, like really nice. If there is a new formula, then definitely improvement. Not that there was ever anything wrong with the previous formula, but I do feel like these just feel really nice. As for the shimmers, super metallic, really beautiful. These are the best shimmers, yes, I'm gonna say that Menagerie has ever done. Definitely a huge improvement, really enjoying these shimmers, and I do really look forward to seeing more shimmers that are this formula from them, as well as the mattes. Now, the main thing here for me is that I just don't really feel inspired looking at this palette. I feel a little bit lost. There's a lot of darker shimmers in here and a lot of mid-tone mattes. There's no really deepening up shade, and even if this was meant to be a more pastel, summery, spring palette, why put the deeper shimmers in here? Like, there's just some disconnect there, as well as for the tones, because there's just some things missing from this palette. And there's a lot of shimmers, and the shimmers are really beautiful, but I just feel like I want to dip into another palette for mattes, you know, kind of thing. So it's really just, I knew what I was buying, obviously, but like I mentioned in the beginning, I do feel like these look a little bit like desaturated, like someone like dialed down the desaturation when I opened the palette. So I was a little bit like, oh, okay, when I first saw the palette in person, but both the yellow and the purple did apply pretty bright on the lid. So I'm not sure if that's just like the way they look in the pan. Maybe it's just because they're against this bright blue background. But really, that's my biggest con with this is just like the color story, and I really feel like I bought this to try it out, and also because I love Menagerie Cosmetics and I pretty much buy everything from them. So obviously take that with a huge grain of salt, because that is my personal preference, which is I don't love the color story of this, but I do think that the quality is really nice. So now I would love to hear your thoughts on this palette. If you picked it up, what do you think? Do you have some of the same thoughts as me, or do you have a totally different experience? Let me know in the comments below. And that's everything for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe. There's so much makeup content, lots and lots of tutorials uploading my channel, and much more to come. You don't want to miss out. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.